It's 3 a.m. in West Texas, and the rig floor is lit up like a stadium nobody built for you. You're 18, covered in mud that isn't dirt, chained to 80 tons of steel that swings when it wants to. 20 years from now, you'll own the yard those trucks pull out of. Between here and there is more money than your family's ever seen, a job that kills workers faster than almost any other, and a version of you that comes home a stranger. This is every level of an oil rig worker's life. You're 18, straight out of high school, and on the rig you have exactly one name: Worm. Not your name, just Worm. The lowest hand on the crew, the one who gets the worst job on the worst end of the pipe. You start as a roustabout, cleaning, painting, hauling, and you make between $40,000 and $55,000 a year doing it, which is more cash than anyone you graduated with, and you feel like you robbed a bank. You work a hitch, 14 days on, 14 off, 12-hour tours. They say it tower, and correcting them is how everyone knows you're a worm. The heat is 105 in the shade, and there is no shade. You chase the driller's orders at a dead run because on a rig, standing still is how you get somebody killed. And it kills. Oil and gas extraction is one of the deadliest industries in America. The doghouse has a first aid kit and a helicopter number taped to the wall, and everybody knows the second one matters more. A hand you rode in with loses 2 fingers to a pipe tong in your first month. Nobody's shocked. They just retape the guard and keep making whole. Then 3 a.m., soaked and shaking, you catch a swinging load clean and chain it down without being told. The driller looks down from his station, spits, and says, "All right, worm." 2 words. You just stopped being nobody. You're 23, you've got a hand now, and you're a real roughneck on the rig floor. And if you went offshore to the Gulf, you're pulling $65,000 to $77,000 a year on day rate, because offshore pays 15 to 30% over land. The average offshore rig hand runs around $46 an hour before the overtime. That's the whole point. Your world is the drill floor and the pipe. You trip pipe in and out of the hole for 12 straight hours, make a connection, break it, stack it, again, 1,000 times a tour. The tongs weigh more than your little brother. Mud, the drilling fluid, not the ground, coats everything you own, gets in your food, in your bunk, in your dreams. You learn to read the driller's hands from 40 feet because the rig is too loud for words. You learn the language fast because the language keeps you alive. The company man runs the well for the operator. The Toolpusher runs the rig. A Sparky's an electrician, a Chippy's a carpenter, a bean counter's the office. And you're the one on the floor when it all goes wrong. The body starts paying in. Rotation work like this drives the numbers straight down. Higher obesity, heavy drinking at rates around 17% versus the general workforce, and sleep that never sinks because your body doesn't know if it's day or night. About 19% of oil and gas workers carry a diagnosable psychological disorder, and roughly 1 in 5 report depression, anxiety, or substance abuse. And out here, nobody says a word about any of it. Then a kick comes up the hole, a gas surge that can blow a rig apart, and the driller slams it in, secures the well, and it's over in 90 seconds. In the quiet after, he just nods at you. Good hands. You'll chase that nod for a decade. You're 30. You climb through derrick hand, strapped to the monkey board 90 feet up, racking pipe in the wind where a slip means you're gone. And now, you're the driller. You run the floor. You make $70,000 to $90,000 a year, and every man on that crew lives or dies by your hands on the brake. You're not swinging iron anymore. You're responsible for everyone who does. 80 tons of pipe, thousands of pounds of well pressure, a green worm who reminds you exactly of you. All of it is yours now. You get credit for none of the 1,000 times a tour that nothing happens, and all of the blame the one time it does. And this is where the family math comes due. The oil industry carries one of the highest divorce rates of any profession. The 14 and 14, the missed birthdays, the coming home wired and unable to sit still in a quiet house. The suicide rate among oilfield workers runs around 54 per 100,000, far above the national average, and every hand you know has lost somebody to the highway, the rig, or the driveway at home. You start doing the thing this job does to men. A case of beer to come down off the hitch, then a case to leave for it, then something stronger to sleep. Substance abuse in this sector runs higher than almost anywhere in the American workforce, and you tell yourself you've got it handled because you never miss a tour. Then one night, you catch a well trying to kick before the alarm even sounds. You feel it in the floor, and you shut it in cold. The company man, who never says anything, keys the radio. That's why he's on days. You're 38. You're the tool pusher now. You don't touch the pipe. You run the whole rig. And you clear 6 figures, somewhere around $100,000 a year plus bonus. Or you go the other road and become the company man, the operator's guy on location, and clear even more to sit in the trailer nobody's allowed to knock on. Either way, the job changed shape on you. You used to fight steel. Now you fight the phone. Downtime is the enemy. A rig can cost tens of thousands of dollars a day to run, and every hour it's not making whole is money burning that somebody upstairs will ask you about by name. You wake up doing math you used to laugh at the tool pusher for doing. You miss the floor. You miss when the whole world was one pipe and one man and a nod at the end of the tour. Now it's crew change logistics, safety paperwork, a worm who quit mid-hitch and left you short, and a company man leaning on you to shave a day off the well. The body's a ledger now. The knees are gone. The hearing's half gone. 30 years next to a rig engine will do that. You're carrying the weight you put on living out of a doghouse on gas station food and energy drinks, and the doctor you finally see says the word diabetes like you didn't already know. Then the big one lands. A well kicks hard on your rig at 2 a.m., and for 4 minutes, it's the crew, the equipment, and every decision you ever drilled into them standing between 80 men and the news. They secure it. Nobody gets hurt. And you sit in your truck after, alone, hands shaking, and you understand for the first time why the old pushers all had that look. You're 45. You do what every hand talks about at 3 a.m., and almost none of them actually do. You quit working for the operator, and you start your own oilfield service outfit. A roustabout crew, a couple of trucks, a phone, and your name on the door. It's brutal to stand up. You put in around $65,000 of your own money, and you need another $50,000 to $75,000 in cash just to make payroll while you wait 60 and 90 days to get paid on invoices. You carry a $1 million insurance policy because no operator lets you on location without it. You bill something like $150 an hour with a 2-hour minimum, and for the first year, every dollar of it goes right back into fuel, steel, and men. You work harder than you did as a worm. You're the owner, the dispatcher, the mechanic, the bean counter, and the guy who drives out at midnight when a hand no-shows. You mortgage the house. You sign the personal guarantee. And you know the graveyard is full of outfits exactly like yours that a single oil price crash wiped off the map in a season. You catch your kids on the days you can. You miss more than you catch. Then the boom hits right, and it turns. 6 trucks, 20 hands, steady work for 3 operators who trust your name. A bigger service company drives out to your yard and slides a number across the tailgate. $3.5 million. You walk the yard that night, diesel and dust and a West Texas sky with too many stars. And you do the math out loud to nobody. Then you take it. You sign in an office in Midland with a lawyer who's never turned a valve. Your name stays on the trucks for a while. Then one week, the shop peels it off. You're 56. You drive out past a location once in a while and watch a rig lit up against the dark, some worm down there running in the mud, and you don't roll the window down. The money came, the house is paid, the kids never worked a rig a day in their lives, and that was the entire point. Your hearing's shot, your knees are shot. There's a shake in your hands the doctors have a name for and no fix for. You sleep about 4 hours because your body still thinks there's a tour to catch. But you pulled something out of the ground that ran this whole country, the fuel in every tank, in every town, that never once thought about where it came from. The work was brutal. The hitch took the years. The body's a bill that's still coming due. But every single day, you made whole. That's the trade. That's the bill. That's the roughneck's life.